in vain, but now she cries out, to the Duke I will go. I have no more need of Signor Dildo. My lady's house, heavens prosper for it, clothed him in satin and brought into the court, he's head in the circle, he scarcely does show, so modest a youth, the Signor will go. The Signor is safe, ready and dumb, as ever was candle, carol or thumb, but away with these thirsty devices and show how you rate the just merits of Signor Dildo!
Right. We have a bear for hours before we present my major work of literature to the king, so let us not slump. Okay, Act 2, Scene 3. The scene changes and discovers the queen in a chair of state.
What kind of chair was that you were wanting?
I'm trying to rehearse the actresses, Molly.
And I'm making sure you have what you want, because if you don't, then I know there will be roaring and swearing and breaking of furniture and heads, which I would not like to be mine.
4 legs, a seat, a back. Very well. Lizzie, you shall continue in the role of the queen.
Yes, my lord.
Thank you, Lizzie. And is frigged by the Lady Officina, Jane, that's you, while all the others are pulling out their dildos and frig in point of honor.
Who are to be on the others?
Yes, well, as we speak, Mr. Downs and Mr. Etheridge are out recruiting some young women of Windsor to fill these trifling parts. For the time, Molly, you shall play Fuckadilla.
I am an invisible person, my lord. I'm behind this invisible person, not a visible person.
It is only a temporary thing, my dear Moll. Heaven could not have provided 2 more assiduous procurers than Mr. Downs and Mr. Etheridge, and they will arrive shortly laden with Berkshire beauties.
But who's to be your clitoris?
Clitoris. Ah, clitoris is silent in this scene. Yes, perhaps. Alcock. You could stand over there and just remind us she is in the scene.
Sorry, my lord.
I beg your pardon.
My lord, I'm all cock. Little clitoris is slightly out of my range.
Alcock, if I command you to impersonate temporarily the seat of pleasure for all womankind, I do not expect you to demur.
Very well, it must be understood I play little clitoris under sufferance.
May I formulate a small question at this juncture?
Yes, Molly?
What kind of dildos do you require?
These items shall be provided from my personal collection.
It's a very fine collection.
I'm relieved to hear those words.
I'm not in this scene.
No, Mr. Harris, you are not. But if you could please stand over there and watch and learn, I shall be much indebted. Shall we begin?
Most damnably, terribly sorry.
Couldn't do it. Simply couldn't find 1 Windsor wanton, never mind 2 who might fit the bill.
I need 2 more women!
But as much our profession as gentlemen ushers.
What are you for? Drinking, cussing, smoking, and superomnia wenching are the main attributes of your sort of gentleman.
Windsor is a quiet town, my lord.
Alcock, you're on. You too, Moll. Nobody cross me further from now on. The scene.
So, no more yet. You do not make it spurt. You frig as if you're afraid to hurt. Madam, the thought in virtuoso lies. Who's virtuoso?
Just say the lines.
Yes, Virtuoso is the merkin and dildo maker to the royal family. A very stable form of employment, I do believe.
Madam, the thought in virtuoso lies. He should have made it of a longer size. This dildo, by a handful, is too short.
Then she should know.
So let him with speed to send for to the court.
Madam, your dildos do not compare with what I've seen.
Indeed, they're poultry wear.
Short dildos leave the pleasure half undone.
I'm sorry, my lord, for stopping. I'm a bit confused.
Yes, Jane.
It says in the script that we are supposed to frig in point of honour.
Yes.
Well, is that not a different mode of frigging?
Just frig yourself here.
It is kind of a literary joke to amuse the reader, Jane.
It's a play.
Yeah, the audience won't get it, will they?
Yes, well, sometimes an author will indulge himself with stage directions which he knows cannot be literally achieved on the stage, but with which he hopes to suggest a subtle nuance to the solitary reader in his study.
Ah, I'm glad you said that, because I wish to pose such a question about the final stage direction in this very scene.
Yes.
Well, I assume this is similar to the one which Jane just referred to, where it is not possible in performance.
It seems straightforward enough.
Then there's dance, 6 naked men and women. The men doing obedience to the women's cunt, kissing and touching them often. The men in like manner to the women's pricks, kissing and dandling the cods, and then fall to fucking, after which the women sigh and the men look simple, and so sneak off.
A very strong scene, an eminently playable scene, and though I say so myself, a climactic one.
In my mind it raises a question.
Yes, Mr. Harris?
My question is in 2 parts. The necessity of posing the second being dependent on your answer first.
Please continue, Mr. Harris.
Will the equipment from your private collection be available for the gentleman for strapping around the middle in the execution of the scene?
Oh, Mr. Harris, I had not envisaged you so encumbered. I feel the scene should be given, so to speak, in the flesh.
Well, it seems my second question is necessary after all. So to envisage that we will do 2 performances of the entertainment on the King's birthday?
No, Mr. Harris.
I'm relieved to hear that from the author.
No, with the dress rehearsal for performance and public showing, I envisage 3.
Well, I don't know if you've got my regular understudy. It's delightful, but it's the most dependable fellow.
I'm delighted to hear it.
And I feel the same as well.
Look, let me be clear here. We are merely preparing a court greeting for the king. Once we have obtained his regal approbation, we shall be in a much more comfortable position to discuss furniture, dildos, and understudies for actors who feel the demands of the scene may be beyond.
Oh, good! You're here! I just so love the theatre, and it is next to impossible to find any in Windsor.
Your Majesty, you are quite early. We had not prepared our reading until 4 o'clock. It is now something short of noon.
Is that so? I do have such extraordinary difficulty telling time of day. Can't imagine why. I seem to remember spending an enormous pile of money on timepieces but a few years ago.
Yes, well, Your Majesty, we shall be delighted to perform for you after dinner.
No. I am here now. Down with time, say I for one, and I'm sure I'm not alone in those sentiments.
Your Majesty will appreciate our efforts much more.
Rehearsal, I say. I commissioned this play. What is the good of being a patron of the arts if you can't get some when you fancy it, eh?
Very well. The beginning of the dildo scene. Okay.
Where's this gentleman going?
Your Majesty, I'm not required in this scene.
You are to play the king, are you not?
I am, Your Majesty.
And this king, what is his name?
He's called Polixinian, King of the imaginary kingdom of Sodom.
Laddie, it may be imaginary to you.
Yes, well, Mr. Harris will not be able to essay the scenes he is in without the help of his fellow actors who have been unavoidably detained.
Does this king not have a monologue, a soliloquy, a prologue or such?
He does, Your Majesty.
Well, I would fain hear it. And then I will retire. Just one speech, John, to whet the imagination.
Very well, Mr. Harris, you shall, if you can be so good, you shall begin the speech that starts with, "Since I've boogered human arse."
No! No! You know the one I want to hear. The one which opens the play. The beginning of your actus primus. Let us have that.
Your Majesty, I do not understand how your familiarity with the play can be so great.
Let us hear it, John. And let it be King.
Thus, in the zenith of my lust I reign, I eat to swive, and swive to eat again, let other monarchs who their sceptres bear, to keep their subjects, less in love than fear, be slaves to crowns, my nation shall be free, my pintle only shall my sceptre be, my laws shall act more pleasure than command, and with my prick I'll govern all the land.
Very good, you know, John. Only this fellow ain't kingly enough. I've been king a decent while now, a while longer than some people might have had. And what is more, I have knocked around with the kingly sort. There is one thing I notice about your kingly fucker, and that is that your kingly fucker expects to be obeyed. You understand, Mr. Harris?
Yes, Your Majesty.
We'll have it again. My laws shall act, and so on.
My lords shall act more pleasure than command, and with my prick I'll govern all the land.
I would like a few moments alone with your order, if I may.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Harris, thank you, ladies. Alcock. Rehearsal is on then.
You heard the orders of your order. If an order can't get him what he wants in his theatre, it's a damn bad lookout, ain't it?
You commissioned me to write a play for you, and yet I feel I'm not trusted.
And I was right. I asked you to write a piece of literature, a monument to my reign, and what do you give me? A pornographic representation of a royal court in which the women's sole object of interest is the dildo, and the men deal only in buggery.
A monument to your reign.
You are to leave Windsor at once. If you're to show your face in the precincts of the royal court in London again, it will be the Tower.
You're so limited! Can you not think of anything else to do to me? Lizzie, this is your copy.
Yes.
Why did you show it to him?
To protect you.
Thank you. I'm now banished again.
You didn't have to play the hand the way you did. I wanted to spare the reading going on, to spare you from the consequences of embarrassing the king in public. I wanted him to interrupt the rehearsal. All you had to do was apologize.
I have lost my time and effort in writing this.
You have a divine talent, and yet you choose to show only what is base and mean. You look at humanity, and you see the monkey, but you close your eyes to the angel. When I'm on stage, I give wing to the angel. I let her soar over the rowdy pit creatures until I've silenced them with the flapping of her wings. That's why they've begun to listen to me. Because when they leave the theatre, they go on their way with a larger idea of themselves and become more noble in their daily lives. You show them to be a scrawny monkey in a shabby coat that shits and mounts its mate. And they go on their way, meaner.
I see them how they are, and I portray what I see.
You see differently, I know you do. For I have had you in the 2 o'clock dark,